Hello, this is Danny Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. A while back I did a video on 8 truly new vehicles that would be truly additions to the game and not just a different manufacturer's version of some other ship. And now, playing with cargo missions in the 3.24 testing build, it has become plainly apparent how much one of those vehicles is really needed. Enough to give it its own video on its own, because what makes it the most useful is not quite so apparent, and thus how to design it to be most useful. And if they make it the most useful version, then yes, CIG could build this very quickly because so much of it is off-the-shelf parts of other ships, and they would sell a bazillion of them. So let's start with the concept itself. Yes, it's essentially a Grey Cat rock with the mining head replaced with a ship-sized tractor beam. And continuing with Grey Cat's love of acronyms and homonyms, rock meaning remote ore collector, for example, I call this the Grey Cat MOVE, or Mobile Onloading Offloading Vehicle. The obvious purpose of this vehicle and its utility in 3.24 is clearly with manual cargo loading and unloading. But to understand the how and why of how useful it is, and thus how to make it the most useful, you have to understand how tractor beams work in the verse. With the tractor beam, you control where you are pointing the tractor beam with the mouse, and then you control the distance in a straight line between you and the thing that you are moving with the mouse wheel. Then you control rotation by holding down the R key and then using mouse movements and the same mouse wheel to control the 3 rotation axes of the crate itself, which means that it is completely impossible to simultaneously move something while using rotation to keep it level and lined up with where you want to put it. I'm going to go ahead and presume that this is somehow a limitation of the 30th century tractor beam technology and not just the control setup. Anyhow, the practical result of this is that unless your ship has external cargo, your task in cargo loading and unloading is to smoothly slide a crate into or out of a narrow cargo bay. If you are at a different level in this cargo bay and can't simultaneously move and rotate the crate, then you'll be constantly banging and scraping that crate against the deck or ceiling of the cargo bay. To avoid this, you want the tractor head to be as close as possible to the elevation of the center of the crate in the cargo bay. So the less obvious advantage of the move is that the tractor head is higher off the floor than anything you could carry yourself, so it is closer to the elevation of the crate on your cargo deck and easier to slide those crates in and out. But to really take advantage of that, it needs to do 2 things that the rock does not. First, it needs to have its height be adjustable. The rock only has 2 positions for its mining head, deployed or retracted, and for the roll of the rock, that is enough. But the mechanism is actually physically capable of being moved up and down to any point in between. The second thing is that this model, which is taken from a real-world Bobcat, can only lift the head a few meters above the ground, which is better than nothing, but to be able to get to the height of the second level of crates on, say, Hercules, this arm would need to be extendable, which again is not that complicated mechanically, but wouldn't that make the move incredibly nose-heavy when lifting crates? Well, no, because the nature of the tractor beam apparently negates both gravity and inertia on the target crate. Which if it didn't, then you would not be moving the crate, but the crate would be moving you. Which, come to think of it, is sort of the quick description of the difference between the 2 modes of the tractor beam. Anyway, the height-adjustable tractor head will let you reach deep into cargo holds and pull items straight out or slide them straight in. Frankly, players will want to have one of these move in storage at their home base and any other station that they regularly visit. Although also, having one carried around with the ship itself is also practical on larger ships. Also, I would suggest that these should be able to be rented at every cargo center or refinery station. Now for an update on my giveaways. To start with, we have a special membership level to cover my costs of doing live coverage at CitizenCon, with its own giveaway for a hull C, the Colossal Cargo Container Carrying Craft. And although I am still expecting to make the trip to Manchester, the giveaway will still occur even if, for unseen circumstances, the live coverage has to be done remotely. Plus, we have our regular Grow the Channel ship giveaways for the Zippy Zazzy Zafty Zephyr, the Zeus 2 cargo, which you're just waiting on the subscriber goal for, as well as the marvelous multiplayer multi-role mining meta, the Arasta. 1 entry per video. Be a member for automatic entry with each video, or subscribe and comment, somehow including the secret word. And the secret word for this video is my name for this new vehicle. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Danny Raymond for Ray's Guide.